post today with Sabrina the Teenage Witch Season 1. Sabrina the Teenage Witch was probably one of my favorite shows growing up. Like, it and Boy Meets World were like two of my favorites, and I really enjoyed the humor and the family interactions that were in that show, and all the characters were memorable, at least to me. So seeing Libby, Harvey, and Jenny and Salem again were like meeting old friends. So I finally decided to sit down and watch season 1 of the show and see if I really enjoyed the show as much as I did before. For those of you who might not know what this show is about, Sabrina the Teenage Witch is about 16-year-old, so it's 15, 16 years old, just grow up people. 16-year-old Sabrina Spellman, who discovers that she is a witch, a half-witch on her father's side, and she goes to live in an old Victorian manor with her aunts, Hilda and Zelda, and their talking cat, Salem. So, like all magical teens, she attends high school, where she is tormented by the school bully, Libby, supported by her equally outcast best friend, Jenny, falls in love with the resident adorable guy, Harvey, and all the while she's discovering her magic and trying to balance the two parts of her life, and blah, 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 blah. So, this series, because I know the series, so I'm just going to go over it. The series is more of a comedy than a drama. So it's very lighthearted and fun, and there are moments of emotional depth. Those are few and far in between. That being said, the relationships between the characters are very good. You can see the family love between Sabrina and her aunts, the relationship with, you know, her and Jenny, and of course the iconic love between Harvey. Like, Harvey is the definition of adorable. Like, he's like that guy, Ethan from Lizzie McGuire. They're like the same guy. He has really nice hair that you can do this with, but he's also got that really glazed over, dumb but fun look. He's that guy. And there are so many things about this show that when I watched it again, I was kind of like, God, I really, really watched the show. Like, this entire season, there were episodes that I remembered by heart. And it's like, and I tell you, it's been years since I watched the show, and these episodes came out in 1996. Oh my God. How old was I in 1996? I was 4. I wasn't even 4 then. I was 3 when this came out. Oh my God. It's insane. Yeah, that's fucking insane. But yet I remember all these episodes because they were just so memorable to me. And so watching them again, I was remembered about how much I enjoyed the show. And Melissa Joan Hart has really good comedic timing in these episodes for the most part. Like, her whole gotta go catchphrase was like so entertaining every time. Because like her face would change, her whole body would just be like, and she would just be off. And I just loved how she was really getting into that physical humor. And all the special effects that they were all dealing with, like with all the pointing and all that kind of people disappearing stuff, they really did a really good job with that kind of stuff. Now that I can actually respect, now that I actually know it's not just like, woo, magic. Because back when I was a kid, I was like, oh yeah, it's just magic. They just point and blink. So she does make it work. However, Moesha was very 90s. This is like super fucking 90s. I mean, there isn't an episode that goes by that doesn't have a really, really in-depth 90s reference. Like, if you were born later, if you were born in 2000, this show is too old for you. Like, it really is heavily dated in terms of the jokes and the humor and the style. Like, even more so than Moesha. Because I feel like for the most part, Moesha and their style, well, it's very 90s. It's like not the really, really hardcore 90s. This, however, whew, super duper. The people they reference, the people they care about, they reference are all very, very typical. The stories themselves kind of like, it's weird because while they're entertaining, I don't really know if they're that good. It's like, I remember them because I remember the characters, and I remember seeing them a bunch of times because it was always on TV. It was on TV forever, and they were always showing reruns. So I was kind of thinking to myself, do I remember these episodes because they were good, or do I remember them because they were just on a lot? And I think that's kind of where I'm kind of in between. I feel like rewatching it, did I enjoy it? Yes, very much. Did I enjoy a lot of parts of it? Yes, very much. Did it live up to my nostalgia? Not so much. I mean, it's like, it's not emotionally hard-hitting, but it is funny. The effects are decent and they still kind of hold up, but the humor fails so hard. But it works when it needs to the most, which I think is when it really matters. And all the actors really give good performances, and you can tell that they did a lot of work into doing this. They put a lot of fun into it. And I think this first season, all in all, is generally good. But at the same time, do I feel like something I feel like, do I want to rush out and buy this? Like, I have had this sitting in my room for a long time. I don't feel the need to run out and go buy the second season of this, the way I feel the urge to go through all the seasons of Boy Meets World. Like, with Boy Meets World, it's kind of like, oh, I want to buy it all, I want to have all of Boy Meets World, I want to get to season 4 and 5 and everything like that. But this is kind of like, I enjoyed this, and I really liked it, and I'll probably get all the seasons, but it's like, thinking back at it, do I really care about all those characters? Like, I could give two fucks about Josh, and then Sully Moonfry comes in later on. It's just kind of like, now I'm thinking back and thinking about the series, like, I feel like the early seasons were really the best part. Like, this is probably, this is the season I remember the most of my childhood. And I think there's a reason for that. I think that this was pretty much where I feel like the best stuff was. But when I'm going to go through all the seasons and really see about that. But I feel like this is, the formula that's in this show never changes. And the stakes never get upped. There's never a really huge conflict stuff going on where it's like this long overarching thing of suspense where, like, Moesha, they would have overarching dramas or overarching things, but because this is a comedy, you know, once you get through one season of it, it's the same kind of formulas over and over again. And with that kind of formula comedy and stuff like that, I have to say that, you know, while I enjoy it, like, I would personally give this show, this first season specifically, a B, because I feel like it's really fun. It's kind of almost iconic in the way everything is set up together. However, just thinking about it on an analytical way, I have to give it a C+. Not because it's bad, because C is average, but that's what I think it is. I feel like this is the first season of Sabrina is the epitome of Sabrina. And I feel like this is really as far as I would need to go to enjoy it. And so I feel like while I enjoyed this season, it also didn't give me any drive to go rush out and buy the other seasons of Sabrina. So let me know how you feel, because I know Sabrina is really popular with my generation. It's probably one of the most, you know, well-known witch series of all time. So I really want to know what other people think. Like, have you rewatched Sabrina? Did you feel like other seasons were really that good? Because I can't even remember really caring about anyone she dated besides Harvey. Like, Harvey Kinkle was the epitome of Sabrina's love life. Everyone else was whatever. Josh, that other guy she was going to marry, didn't matter. It was all about Harvey all day, every day. And then, like, she had Jenny as a friend, but then this other brunette girl comes in. Libby becomes a guy. It was all very, like, things just changed. But I don't know. It was weird. It didn't live up to my nostalgia, but it was still entertaining. But at the same time, I feel like that's all it is. It's just entertaining, but there's no real depth to it. So let me know what you thought. And that was Sabrina Season 1. I like it, but at the same time, I don't know if it's really as good as I wanted it to be.
Don't be shellfish.